So what did you guys have for lunch? You had pizza?
Yeah.
I had salad for lunch. I just,
Salad?
just actually tomato and croutons. And actually it was one really big crouton covered in tomato sauce and ham and pineapple and then a lot of cheese. It was a pizza. I was a wafer-thin child. I know I'm pretty buff now, but I was so slender that I needed suspenders to keep my Speedo from falling down. I was so skinny I was swimming in a lake one summer and a dog came out to fetch me 3 times. Sure, it's funny for you. My mother used to scrub laundry on my rib cage. People looking for a toothpick at the dinner table would grab me. I think you get the picture. Hey, I can laugh now, but it took me years to discover any humor in my scrawniness. I remember as if it were about an hour ago the time a beautiful girl in our school rode past me on her silver bicycle. She was beautiful. She looked my way. Her hair was blowing in the breeze and staying on her head. Oh man, she shouted, "Hi, Skinny," as if that was the name my parents had given me. I would rather she had leveled a potato gun at me and pulled the trigger. I suppose I became a writer partly as a response to the enormous humiliation of being teased as a child. A sense of humor and my ability with words were the only weapons that I had in my arsenal, so I kept my wit sharp and my tongue forked. In elementary school, a classmate broke my thumb with a hockey stick. Then he threw snow in my face and laughed as I cried. His name was Ken, but I called him other things that I am not proud of calling him. I told him things which he had no idea, things involving his family history and his future. I knew he was going to break my other thumb. Instead, he quickly skated away. I realized something wonderful that day. Sticks and stones can break bones, but words can touch something far deeper. In high school, an upperclassman named Larry approached me in the hallway and said, "Callaway, you're so skinny, we should slide you under the door when we need stuff," or something like that. I couldn't think of a gracious response, so I said, "Well, you're so fat you broke your family tree." I said this. He was stunned. I was on a terrible roll. I said, "You are so large you bend over, you cause an eclipse on 3 continents." I couldn't stop myself. I had thrown my tongue into gear before engaging my brain. "You're so fat you beep when you back up," I said. It was terrible. I thought he was going to murder me and the jury would unanimously acquit him. Instead, the color drained from his face as he turned and walked away. Words. When I realized I could wield them like a sword, I dreamed of becoming a writer, of writing best-selling novels jammed with humor and sarcasm and revenge. Ken and Larry would beg my forgiveness then. I knew they would. But 2 things stood in the way. One was a praying mother. The second was a father who promised me a watch if I read 1 chapter of Proverbs each day for a month. And I began to encounter words that were pretty amazing. "Reckless words pierce like a sword," it said in chapter 12, verse 18. "The tongue that brings healing is a tree of life." That's Proverbs 15:4. Someone informed me the other day that I've now written about 30 books. I have written all of them on my knees, praying that God would somehow use the stories I tell to change lives. Miraculously, He answers that prayer in the most surprising ways. I was speaking about God's grace at a large convention recently, and when I stepped off the stage, guess who was waiting for me? Ken. I kid you not. He came over and he gave me a bear hug until my ribs squeaked. There were tears streaming down his face. 10 minutes later, Larry elbowed his way through a group of people and opened his arms. I kid you not. Tears were in his eyes, and they were in mine too. The 3 of us, standing together, amazed by grace, on even ground at the foot of the cross. "Isn't God good?" said Ken, taking my right hand and squeezing it a little too hard, I thought. "How's the thumb?" he asked. "Never better," I said. "Never better." You want to help make stories of hope and joy available around the world? Make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video today.